Hi, I'm Dr. Yum, and I am here at the Dr. Yum Project Kitchen with a fun idea for you to use with your children to encourage them to try foods from different cultures. I'm going to talk about food passports. When we were first starting to teach classes at the Dr. Yum Project Kitchen, I got this great idea from my friend April, and it was a food passport that she had made with her daughter to record some of the interesting new foods from different cultures that they were trying as a family. And I loved this idea. We called ours Food Explorer passports, and we started to use them regularly in our Dr. Yum Project after school cooking camps. And the kids loved them. We would make their passports at the beginning of the session, and then every time we would try a new food, we would write down the country that the food was inspired by, and we would stamp them, and away they would go with a great little memory book of all of the great foods that they would try. So I wanted to talk to you about how you can do this at home, because traveling is such a great experience for kids, and there's so much that kids can learn when they travel, but sometimes it's hard to actually get out to far off places and visit different countries for a number of reasons. It can be expensive, it can be kind of challenging logistically to take long flights with small children. There might be circumstances that might not allow you to travel. I remember when my kids were finally old enough to travel, I opened a pediatrics practice and had to really focus a few years on growing the practice and being available to my patients. So I missed out on a lot of years of travel with my kids that we could have had. So we used food passports to travel in our imagination and visit different countries by enjoying cuisine from different places. So this is a fun thing to do, especially now as we are not able to travel as easily with the pandemic. It's not necessarily safe. There may be travel restrictions. So this is a fun way that you can have an activity with your kids, with your family, and chronicle some of the foods that you're trying at home. Let's talk about why this can be a fun activity. So first of all, tasting. Tasting is so important when you are raising an adventurous eater, and doing an activity like a food passport may encourage kids to taste food. Now, one thing I will say is that some kids are particularly hesitant. They may even be a little bit anxious about tasting new foods. So no worries about that. If you have a really hesitant, anxious eater, the food passport can be used still to encourage kids to explore a food by helping you make it, by smelling that food, by describing it, by touching it. So you don't necessarily have to have a child try a food with their mouth to record it in their food passport. Just encourage kids to explore foods in whatever ways they're comfortable, and then give them that stamp to encourage them, hopefully, someday to try that food with their taste buds. So the second reason that food passports can be really fun is it gives you a chance to learn about different cultures. So you can really immerse yourself not just in the food, but learning about other aspects of the culture, which can be a great educational experience. The third thing is that trying new foods at home and making new foods at home can be a fun cooking experience for the whole family. And we know through our research at the Dr. Yum Project, through our cooking curriculum for preschoolers, that when you have a cooking experience with children, it really does change their attitudes and behaviors around trying new foods. Kids who cook tend to try new foods more and enjoy those foods more, and they tend to refuse foods less. So cooking together new foods from different countries and recording them in your food passport may be a great way to move your more hesitant eater along and get them enjoying new foods. The fourth reason food passports are great is that you can, when you travel, you can really immerse yourself in that country's culture and cuisine, and it makes traveling so much easier. You're not having to find more familiar foods as you're visiting an unfamiliar country. You can really be more immersed in their culture by eating their foods too, and it makes it a lot less challenging trying to find foods that everybody likes, because kids are kind of primed and excited about trying new cultural foods. The fifth reason it is awesome to try new foods using a food passport is that sometimes we kind of end up eating the same foods all the time, and when we open ourselves up to trying new flavors, new ingredients, we may be letting our body be exposed to new nutrients too, which is really healthy. Let's talk about how you make your food passport. So first of all, it's really easy. I found this food passport from when my 17-year-old was younger, and you can see he put all kinds of stickers and stuff on it. He decorated it, but you first need a little notebook, and you can find this at a lot of places where you would find school supplies. This is about a 3x5. It kind of feels like the size of a passport. This one has a little bit of graph paper inside of it, and sometimes you can just get like a notebook style, but this kind of feels like the right size for a passport, and it's easy and you can tuck it away. If you do end up traveling or going to a restaurant, you can easily tuck it away and take it with you. So that's first. We actually made this really easy for you, and if you go to our website and you look at our blog post about food passports, you can see that there are 2 downloads. So this is one of them. This is the front cover that you can use, and you can print this on sticker paper if you like. If you don't have sticker paper though, you can print it on just a regular piece of paper and then cut it out and use a glue stick or some glue and attach it to your front cover. And then if your kids want to draw on it or add more stickers, they can really make it their own and make it really fun. The second thing you'll need is the inside cover. So in the inside cover, you've got a second download, and this prints 3 of them if you want to share them or make one for siblings or make them for yourselves. And you can download that, and it's a Word document where you can then type in the child's name, their date of birth, and their date of issue, so the day you start using it. And then you can pop a little class photo in there, or you can download a little picture and put it right in this spot too. So it really looks like a passport, which is really fun. And then the third thing you need is a stamp or a set of stickers. So this is where it gets really fun. If you visit a restaurant and you eat a new type of food, or if you've made a new cultural food at home, or if someday you travel, you can write down the date and what country your food was inspired by, and then you can stamp it just like you would get it stamped at customs in the airport. You can stamp it, or you can put some fun stickers. In this little food passport, as I went through it and went down memory lane, I saw that we had gone to an Ethiopian restaurant, and our server actually, when we showed her our food passport, she asked if she could write a little message for my son in her native language. So there are lots of fun things that you can do. You can write a little story about the food that you had or where you ate the food, and it becomes almost like a little journal that you can look back on. So where can you find some of these foods to try to make at home? So there's lots of places. There are lots of programs that you can find that may feature cultural foods and share recipes. You can look at the libraries or online for different cultural recipes. The Dr. Yum Project has a number of recipes too, and a lot of those are listed in that blog post. So we have some recipes from East Asia, from South Asia. We have recipes from Mexico, all kinds of places. And if you visit that blog post, you can see links to some of those recipes that are really family tested and easy to make, and you can enjoy those at home too. So the last thing that we love to talk about at the Dr. Yum Project that really will round out your food passport activity is really eating that food, enjoying that food mindfully, spending the time to enjoy that food and talk about how fun it was to make and what you learned when you were making the food, and to even immerse yourself even further in the culture. And that really makes it a very well-rounded, fun, educational activity. So you can consider maybe writing down some facts that you've learned by searching online about a culture, and maybe writing them on note cards and passing them around and sharing a little bit about that culture. You could find some music from that culture and play it during dinner. That's really fun. You might even try a new way of eating foods in the way that foods are eaten in that culture. For instance, you can find some chopsticks if you're trying an Asian dish. And I know chopsticks can be a little challenging for little ones. So you can find these little toppers for chopsticks that kind of hold them together and make them easier for kids to use. So that could be kind of fun. In our Sri Lankan culture, where my parents are from, a lot of their foods are curries, and they're eaten with the hands to kind of blend foods together, different bits of food, and get that perfect little bite. So maybe you try eating with hands one night. So just really think about immersing yourself in the culture. Even consider putting out a map or a globe so that kids can really see visually where these countries are in the world and where you're traveling to, and just have fun with it. So for more ideas like this, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and learn about how you can really enjoy food with your family at home.